Yo, welcome back to Locked Cage MMA. It's your boy Brian the Beast Eastlick here with
The little Spartan.
Nice. Yes, tonight is going to be a great night. We're going to talk a little bit of UFC 286, talk about that stacked card that was Davashili versus Jan. It wasn't exactly stacked, but there were some good fights on there. Um, I just, I it was a pretty good weekend for fights.
It wasn't bad at all. I had a lot of fun. It was interesting. So
You won a little money, and I did not do so well in the betting department. Uh,
yeah, my $5 winnings.
you gotta start somewhere. I don't exactly bet a ton of money on fights either. I'm anywhere from $5 to $10. I broke the cardinal rule when it comes to betting. I was losing and I started chasing. So like I lost a few fights. I double or triple my bet size to try to catch up. Did not end up working in the end. But we're working it back up. I got some plays that I usually hit in the NBA every night. So we on that, try to build that bankroll up again. I didn't lose everything, so there's a good thing about that.
Well, you got a chance to bring it back. So there you go.
Yeah, this card I think is a good one to bring it back on. There's a lot of prelim fights that I think are good fights and good bets. We're not going to cover those, but we will cover the main card. I think the main card is the juice of where everything's at. But yeah, should we let the people know where they can catch, our show, our posts?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we have a Twitter, which is,
At Locked Cage MMA.
and we have a Facebook, which is Locked Cage MMA on Facebook. And you can
Yep.
also
And
catch us on YouTube under Hashmark Sports.
yep. Hashmark Sports. I don't know if it's Hashmark Sports or Hashmark Media. It's one
It
of the
might be.
two. It'll be a green logo with like hash marks like on a football field. So tons of great content on there. We usually do the Hashmark show, which is football, NFL bets and stuff to place. We have a couple different podcasts. We do have my son's podcast, which is JV Level Thinking. And then they also have one called the Christy Lee Bella podcast, which is a content creator we have. She's got a lot of cool stuff she talks about. She just talks about her life and stuff like that. And Dave Evergreen, he is the host of that. And if you check out our TikTok, Hashmark Sports, he does a lot of goofy stuff on there, a lot of funny content, a lot of stuff, from those guys. My TikTok, I used to post stuff, but not really anymore. We'll probably get something for our podcast here, and we'll have someone cut up some shorts for us. Probably cut up some shorts, make them into reels, so you can put them on Facebook, and we'll probably try to get some stuff up on on Twitter too. Post some quick little videos or link to the TikTok. You can see all that stuff, all that good content we're pumping out.
Can't miss it.
Can't we're
Can't
must
miss it. It's
see
everywhere.
we're must see TV or podcast or internet, whatever you want to call us.
Must see streaming.
Must see.
Just watch. Just don't make me come to your house. Watch
All right.
or
So
listen. If you're driving, just listen.
just listen.
Do not watch.
Do not watch us while you're driving.
That's a bad idea.
Put us in your speakers, or in your headphones at the gym, whatever.
Definitely very motivational for the gym.
Yes, motivational. Yes, you can hear us talk about being old as shit, and you can look forward to it.
Which is old if you've never seen what shit looks like. Have you ever seen Step Brothers? The white shit. That's us. Okay, that's how old we are. There you go.
Yeah, told you. We before we started the podcast, we talked about how like just shitty life can be in the morning. Like I mean, it takes me a good like 5 minutes and I'm fucking good to go. But it's like fuck. I wake up and I feel like I got hit by a Mack truck. It could be my mattress. It could be lack of good quality sleep. Who knows?
I remember when I used to be able to get up the next day after a fight, and I felt like I got hit by a Tonka truck, which was just a toy, and now it's literally like somebody runs you over with a Mack truck. Yes, a real full size one. It happens every decade after 30. Not that I know what after 30 would be, but just saying.
Yeah. So speaking of getting old and being joining the retired ranks like us, Benson Henderson, one of the two guys we're going to talk about that retired this weekend. Um, Hats off to him. He had a great career, great UFC career. At one point, I felt like he was probably one of the guys that couldn't be beat in the UFC. Um, Loved watching him fight. Just such a like a he got like a game planner, I would say. He kind of went into every fight with a good game plan and stuck to that game plan and made it work.
He absolutely did. I mean, gosh, he's been fighting for a long time. He's only 39.
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought he was older. We talked about that for the podcast. I thought he was in his 40s. We had him in WEC.
Yeah.
And if I'm not wrong,
He was a young buck in WEC,
he was a
though.
champ in WEC, or at least fought for the
He was
championship.
an interim champion. Oh no, he was undisputed WEC lightweight champion.
And
So
UFC.
yep, UFC.
He's been on a top tier level for so long that it's one of those guys that it's like, whoa, that's weird. Like when he was like, I'm done, it's like, whoa, wait, that's weird. And then I was like, well, yeah, he's in his 40s, sure, that's a good idea. And then we see he's 39, and I'm like, huh, he's been doing it for so long. He's gonna wake up and feel like he got hit by the entire universe someday.
Well, you never know. Maybe he took kind of care of his body. Who knows? He had some hellacious, fights. He fought Cerrone a few times. Um, I mean, I kind of looked at his Wikipedia because I couldn't remember all the fighters he's fought off the top of the head. He's fought Jim Miller, Jim A1 Miller. Dude's fucking tough as hell. Clay Guida beat Clay Guida, beat Frankie Edgar twice, Nate Diaz twice, Gilbert Melendez. Lost to Anthony Pettis. Anthony Pettis, fucking menace, But he had a
Everybody has that guy.
he
That one
beat
guy you
he
can't.
beat he beat Jorge Masvidal before he left the UFC though.
That was back before Masvidal hit his street Jesus mode too. If I'm correct.
He did what you call a parlay. He parlayed like 3 good fights into a title shot, and you know after that kind of got
Yeah,
exposed.
one dimensional.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
I mean,
he's got good takedown defense. It's decent, but we obviously see that you can't have decent takedown defense when the elite grapplers that there are.
mhm.
I mean, grappling is such a great base, and people are finding out that grappling will nullify your striking because it's hard to punch somebody when you're on your ass.
So he had so going on about Masvidal here, he had beat Cerrone, lost to Damian Maia, lost to Wonder Boy, then he beat Darren Till, beat Ben Askren in a fluke fight. I still say to this day, if Ben Askren didn't get knocked out by that knee, he probably beats Masvidal second round, in my opinion. I don't know if that's your opinion, but I say Askren probably wins that fight. I'd say a good 8 out of 10 times.
Are we talking the Ben Askren that came to the UFC or the Ben Askren that fought?
The Ben Askren that came to the UFC beat Robbie Lawler.
The Ben Askren that came to the UFC got a lucky fucking break on Robbie Lawler. And I'm not trying to be rude to Ben because I love him. I think he's fucking hilarious. But Ben was past his time when he got to the UFC. He needed hip surgery.
Yeah,
He
he ended up getting
didn't
hip
get it
surgery after
in.
his.
He said he feels a lot better. I've seen that he feels a lot better. I don't know, getting kind of off subject there, but that Askren's was always a great wrestler. I would have loved to see him in his prime in the UFC against the top guys, instead of just going around beating
So
everybody up
so
over
much
him.
of his career was lost in, what was it, one? Was that where he fought
Yeah,
one FC or something like that?
yeah, he was all always overseas in Asia fighting, and there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that
And
at all.
he had a decent chin. That's why he didn't like he was so good. His loss was to Askren and then or to Masvidal. And then, it was just after that he lost to Damian Maya. And then he was like, I'm done with it with this shit, you know?
He I mean, he won against Lawler in a bad call by the ref, and I'm going to go ahead and throw it out there. The ref made a bad call. It's a bulldog choke, man. Nobody gets put down on a bulldog choke.
I've done it. I've done it in UFC 4. It's real. You can do it. But nah, yeah. I mean, straying off topic though. Hats off to Benson Henderson in a great career.
Absolutely, and congratulations to him on promoting his wife during his retirement. In his
Oh yeah.
retirement speech, you get that small window of your time, and he gave up most of that small window to let us know, hey, what I'm going to do in retirement is I'm going to give my wife a chance to shine because it's her turn, and I respect that. He didn't have to say anything. He just said, I'm retiring, and we're gonna focus on just other stuff. But he put his wife in there, and I think that's really respectable for him.
He could have been like, I'm done with this shit. Fuck this.
I'm out. I want no more.
I want no more.
My face hurts.
My face and my body hurts. I'm gonna. But yeah.
We got another one that retired as well, and that one,
Yeah, that was
I watched that fight and I was not happy with. It was a good time to retire.
yeah. Yeah, we're of course talking about Rafael Sunsao. Um, Valiant warrior, great career.
Stud.
What?
He's an absolute stud, and he didn't show it. He just kept saying, "Hey, look at my face. Here it is." And then you get punched, and then he would shake it off. That whole good.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
good.
good.
You're not. You're not good. We can tell you're not good. Stop saying you're good and put your damn hands up and block it.
Yeah. And yeah, it was so close to being, you know, he had like 17 seconds left in the fight,
Yeah,
something like that.
it was real close.
Yeah,
It
I
was
mean,
close, but it was time.
40 years old, both these guys, storied career. I think Sun Sao, he had not had the best run here lately. His last fight, he was coming off of a win, but before that, he had lost to Ricky Simone, Garbrandt, Sandhagen, Marlon Moraz. He had it was a rough streak for him. And some fighters you just see toward the end of their career, they're like, no more. I'm done with this. I feel like Cerrone, when he did that, he was already his last fight, he was just ready to be done. So, that's how I felt about that fight. And I feel like a Sun Sao was kind of like that too. He's taking shots and just
It
like, meh.
reminded me a lot, not as bad, but it reminded me a lot of Glover Teixeira's last fight. Just too damn tough for their own good.
Mm-hmm.
And you're 40, man. You can't be too tough anymore. You got to be smart.
Yeah.
Your body doesn't recover the way it used to. And I know these guys are world class athletes, but it doesn't matter what sport you're in. Look around in the sports, and very few people make it past 40. And when they do, they're just the elite of the elite, which means that they just were up here and they came down just to right here. and they're still okay, but you can't go fight undercard guys when you've been the champion before, or you can't, so you have an option: keep fighting top tier guys, or lose a lot and then go to the undercard, which means you've just ruined your whole thing you've worked for your whole life. Which is that big record there that you want the more wins than losses, hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sitting at a 80% clip career wise. 4 out of 5.
Yeah.
Are you trying to calculate? Hey, don't think too hard.
Do you see the smoke?
Is that you went to school in Knoxville education or what?
It's not that good. No, it's not that good. I couldn't calculate that right now.
Oh gosh. Well, I don't even know what you said your career win loss was. I was like, I couldn't probably do it off the top of my head either.
No, there's no way. There's no way. It's too many.
So I kind of
wins.
Too many wins. That's right.
Right. Too many wins.
Too many titles to count.
I think all my losses were title fights. So I don't feel bad.
Hey, there you go. I never fought for a title, but my manager, or not my man, well, actually technically kind of, yeah, like my manager, he's also my boxing coach. He said if I would have won my last fight, because I left MMA on a loss, and that kind of sucks, but he said if I would have won that last fight, he wanted me to fight Josh Gutcher for like the heavyweight title, like John George's Midwest Fighting Championship. He wanted me to have that fight in Albia at our fairgrounds. And I was like, are you fucking nuts? I don't think I would have beat Josh, in my opinion. So what are you looking at?
What? I'm sorry. I was just thinking he's probably looking at me right now, shaking his head.
Dude, because that's what he said he was going to fight for, was he was going to see if he could get me to fight Josh in Albia at the fairgrounds. And I was he told me that. I was like, fuck, I don't think I would beat him. I think he would have, like, I was not as good of a striker as he was. I might have been able to wrestle him, but I don't think I would have beat him. I think he probably would have fucking
always outdoes boxing.
I think he would have pounded my fucking head in.
But that's a very big person who hits very hard. I mean, that's a man who would go, I don't know how to put this, but he would go super light in practice with me, and I would be hurting.
Yeah.
I'd walk away like, I feel fine. Oh my God, my head.
We never really sparred boxing wise. We would do grappling together and stuff. And I was good. I was better than him at grappling, but like he was kind of hard to take down. So it was like, yeah, it probably would have been a struggle for me to get him down. And then once I got him down, hopefully not gas out trying to get to where I wanted, so
yeah, you burn a lot of energy with those takedowns.
Oh yeah. And then the guy that beat me ended up beating Josh a week later. He put him in a triangle and beat him. So who knows? And I'm not ever gonna say that I would have beat Josh. That's not me. I have so much respect for that man. So it's
someday.
Yeah.
You aren't gonna be here forever, so we'll catch up to him someday.
We will, and then
I will bring this up. I will say, check out episode 4 of Lock Cage MMA.
He's probably already watching.
We're redoing
it, or not. He's probably got better things to do, right?
Yeah, like everybody else, better things to do than look at our ugly mugs. Who wants to do that? I don't even do that.
Oh shit! So the main thing we were going to talk about was recapping the fights. I only caught until the main event. I only caught a few matches on the prelims. I watched JJ Aldridge get absolutely schooled by Lipsky. Did not enjoy that. Um, didn't catch Henry and Gravely. So what kind of did you catch that fight or
I didn't catch any of the prelims. I
any of the
came in
previews?
and into the main card.
So Sun Sao was the opener for the main card, right?
Yeah, he was. I did catch that. I did see that fight. So I think that's where I came in at, if I
Yep.
remember correctly.
Yeah.
Most
Um,
prelims are on during the day on a weekend, and during the day, my time, it's like, man, it's daylight. I can't be sitting inside watching
yeah.
TV.
Yeah.
So I didn't get to him until later because I wanted to, live a little bit of life, just a hair, just a little.
Just a little bit. Yeah, when when summer hits, I'll probably be out a lot more and like doing the garden thing and hopefully we're gonna look for a new house. So, eventually someday I'll have probably a background with my MMA autographs and I want to start collecting gloves with autographs on them. I think that would be pretty cool to have a
Sure,
few.
buy the gloves. I'll
So
keep signing them for you.
yeah, I know. I know.
Just all of them with my name on them behind you. And
Hey,
this one
hey,
is, and this one is.
I've got all the posters with my autograph. They're on their way. They're in the mail, ready for, you'll get them here in a few days.
Sweet, love it. I already got one on my fridge.
To my biggest fan.
I love it. It will never leave my fridge. It will
Nice.
never leave my fridge. I promise that. I have taken down children's stuff they brought home from school so it stays on the fridge because it
Aren't
makes
they
it
in high
warm.
school? They're still putting stuff on the fridge.
I mean, just because they're old doesn't mean they're smart. Don't tell anyone though.
I feel off topic here, but I feel very blessed. All my children they're very intelligent. So I feel blessed. I don't know if it's me harping into them, like get good grades. You don't want to, you don't want to work hard if you can work smart.
It's not
So
genetics, so it must be something else,
I don't
right?
know. I'm the only one with a college degree. But you have a college degree, don't you?
Oh yeah, I have
Do you have
several.
a motorcycle one, don't you? And what else do you have?
I have an electrical degree. I have a motorcycle mechanics degree, which is just a technical degree. And I also have my personal training, which is no longer
Yeah.
valid, but I did get it.
Nice. So now when I run out of this program, I should hit you up to find me a good workout program then.
Yeah, I mean, it might be a little outdated, but I don't know. I don't know all the new trends that are happening right now, but
Dude, the one that I have is from I think you remember 2016, 2000. No, it was before that, I want to say. No, maybe not. No, yeah, I think it's a 2016, 2017 Cornell wrestling program. So, yeah. It's a newish. It's about 7 years old, 8 years old.
I'm not really into the big trends in working out. I do believe that there is things that we can learn to do better, but I mean, I could go out and say, hey, everyone should eat dirt and make sure you have a little bit of Kentucky bluegrass in there, and it will make you better.
Lots of nutrients in dirt though.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, we got to start eating dirt. Okay, that's. I'm going to start
You
a new trend. It's going to
you heard it here first.
hashtag eat dirt.
I'm gonna get that trending on Twitter.
It's gonna be
Uh
perfect. I'm gonna get a T-shirt that says it. And I'm gonna put a
dang,
QR code.
that would be great merch.
Eat
Eat dirt. Locked
dirt.
Cage MMA on the back it says eat dirt.
It just says eat dirt, and then there's just a QR code, and the QR code takes you to our website. Just to everybody gets messed with. Like that's not what I wanted. I wanted to know how to eat dirt.
Oh shoot. So we had the highlight of our last podcast. We talked about Davy Grant and Raphael Sunsao, two spring chickens, two guys in the primes of their life fighting each other.
Young fellers.
Yeah.
I just said fellers. I didn't show how old I am.
37 and 40. Davy Grant, yeah, I was impressed by him. You know, they said that he's every time like here lately he's come out, he's looked pretty good, you know. Like he's last two fights, or these last couple fights, he's fought pretty well. He got the submission, technical submission, choked old Sun Sao out
He
with
choked
17
out
seconds left.
a black belt, a Brazilian jiu-jitsu black belt. Davy Grant choked him out. And we're not talking just any black belt. I mean, Sun Sao has been doing this for a long time. Grant looked good, and he's
Mm-hmm.
37.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, he looked good, and he's 37. Uh, that was a
Mm-hmm.
good either. I don't want to say this because I like Rafael Sun Sao. Rafael didn't look good.
Mm-mm.
He didn't look good. He looked slow. He looked like he was just in there to take punches. He looked like a heavy bag with fists.
Yeah.
And it just I wasn't impressed by that. I didn't like it. Grant either looked really good or Rafael looked really bad.
Yeah. Yeah, after this fight, we saw a Sun Sao retire. We addressed that. Hats off on, a great career. You know, he made hay during his day. Um, got some good wins. Aljamain Sterling. I mean, Rob Font, when Rob Font was good, you know, a win over TJ Dillashaw. You know, these
When was
are
Rob Font good?
Rob Font's decent.
Yeah, I
I
don't
don't know why
remember.
you dissing Rob Font. I mean, I'm not gonna pick him to win any fights here lately. He's 19-6, but dude's never been knocked out. He has 8 wins by knockout.
I'm just giving you shit. I think he's pretty decent. I couldn't
just
hold it
not
anymore.
just not anymore. He's got fucking pillow hands, and
Yeah, I mean, you see that, and it happens with many people. It it happens at certain times. You know, like I mean, Garbrandt has went from the very very top to the very very bottom, and he's like pushing 30. So it happens. What is
I
this?
think I
30,
think
33? I don't know.
If Font doesn't get a win here pretty soon, Font's gotta go. But the last two guys he's fought, are Jose Aldo and Marlon Vera, Cheeto. So like, just the thing again, I don't know if Cheeto's just got that good of a chin. I mean, Jose Aldo and Vera both have good chins.
Vera's
But
a
I mean,
stud.
I
Vera's
wonder if this.
gonna rock that division. I see him. I see him moving up quickly. That dude's a stud.
I wonder if. I wonder if Garbrandt was still relevant when Font beat him. He beat him by decision, so
Can't remember when that. What was the year?
2021.
Yeah, yeah, that would have been when Garbrandt was not relevant, right? He hasn't been good for a couple of years now.
Yeah.
He was
So
on like a 5-fight skid until he eked out this last one.
Font could probably. I mean, Font's probably gonna be. He can probably make it back, but he just like his boxing looks so. I'm gonna say it, beautiful. His boxing is beautiful. Counters
Oh yeah,
beautiful.
it is.
Just
It is. It's
it's
fluid.
so smooth, and I'm just like, and then like when I don't see him knock guys out, I'm just like, and then he gets rocked, and you're just like,
They say that it's always said the last thing to go is power, but those lower weight classes, those guys don't have a lot of power.
no.
I mean, I went my whole career without ever being knocked out. I fought at 135, 145. Not saying that 135ers and 145ers can't knock people out. Okay, don't come punch me on the street.
Especially because now you're just below light heavyweight, right?
Yeah, I'm right in between light heavy and middleweight. I would actually be a middleweight right now, probably. Maybe a welterweight. I mean, it depends. Those guys cut ridiculous amounts of weight. So, but I mean, the lower weight classes, you don't most guys don't have a lot of power. You don't see that. You don't see the power like you seen at 45 from like Jeremy Stevens
Yeah.
because he had that massive power. I think that might have led to the fact of him having the losses he did. Because when you get that much power in your hands that weight, you just tap somebody. It's done.
Mhm. Yeah, it's just like I don't know. If I fought it, probably like I don't know. I feel like middleweight, you can still fucking smack someone pretty hard.
Middleweight,
Um,
yeah.
like, and that'd be probably the lowest I'd be able to go. You know,
Yeah, middleweight's still. I mean, think about middleweight. Adesanya, Pereira.
yeah.
Uh,
Pereira, Pereira is light heavy.
no,
Wait, yeah, wait,
he can make light heavy without a
yeah,
problem. That's how much weight he cuts. He
yeah.
fights. He's the middleweight champion right
I
now.
was thinking of Edwards. Edwards fucking I think 170 can still be a hard hitting division. I think 155 is where you see a little bit more of the power like go
Decline.
down. Yeah. But I
I
mean look
think
at Volk, but Volk was cutting a lot. So Volk could easily knock people out because he walked around at like what 210 when he was playing rugby
that
or
that guy
more.
is that guy.
Superhuman.
He blows my mind at how good he is. Yeah, I can't believe how good Volkanovski is. I mean, that can be a whole show. I could not stop talking because he just watching him fight. I'm not even a big Volkanovski fan. I got to be real with that. I've not ever been a huge fan, but I can't not like his fighting. I don't know
Yeah.
him that well to really be a fan. I feel like you got to like get to know them, find out about them before you're really a fan, right? And
Like yeah, I'm a big I like Sugar Sean. I don't know if he's too much for you, but I like Sugar Sean. I feel like it's you get to know his personality, like on and
I
off
don't
the
dislike him at all. Not my cup of tea.
yeah.
Then that's okay. I'm like a Randy Couture Glover to share. I like the quiet. I'm gonna beat your ass without talking, and I'm not gonna have to say shit. Like we'll be.
Like Matt Hughes. Matt Hughes, I read his autobiography and he fucking hated talking shit. He's like, why not just let us get in the cage and settle it?
I think it's smart to get in someone's head. I do. I had it happen many times. People try to get in your head. It never bothered me though. That's never bothered me, and that I never really talk shit because I don't want it to come back if I lost.
Yeah.
Uh,
You
and
don't want to
I,
sit
I,
there.
yeah, I get that. Guys will be like sitting there like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna lose. I'm not gonna lose. Like, dude, there's always a chance. I mean, we've seen that with Usman in the first fight against Leon. Leon caught him, and it was lights out.
Mhm.
Boy, all those shit talking videos that come back are not nice.
I have to watch the embeddeds and shit for in the press conference. I have not watched much for the build up to this, and maybe it's there hasn't been much build up to this, but I feel like there's a lot of build. There was no build up for Volkov versus Makachev. I feel like there's more momentum going toward John Jones and Cyril Gahn.
There
That's
can't
what they
be
hyped up
more
more.
momentum and hype for oh, what is that thing that they have? Oh yeah, the meth head beat your wife championships where they, I'm not even gonna say what it is because I'm not promoting it. It's fucking garbage. But they keep I literally try and check out MMA and that's all I see is toothless wonders slapping people in the face.
There's a guy that was on the fucking Ultimate Fighter that's on it, but like other than that, it's just like I have no interest in it. It's walking CTE.
It is. It's dangerous. It's not healthy. It's not healthy. And they're boy, you want to get into fighter pay. Go get your ass slapped for a couple fucking $1,000 and see how you feel about fighter pay. That's ridiculous. It just makes everyone look bad. And the one guy who we know is the champion of smacking people. Dana White. He's not in there. He's not in there. He's not doing it.
Well, maybe it's no competition.
Yeah, you're right. His wife's not involved. So
There goes your chance at ever being affiliated with UFC.
super worried. I don't
we
think
were
he's ever going to make that phone call.
we were gunning for those announcer spots, and now we have no chance.
I ruined it. I'm
Damn it, Josh.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Uh, anyways, back on topic. Then we had looks like Vitor Petrino versus Anton Turkali. I think Turkali is how you said it. This fight, oh man, Turkali, I feel like he just didn't do enough. Like Petrino, Turkali was supposed to be the grappler, but you've seen a lot of takedowns out of Petrino, which I really liked. Turkali had a pretty good chin. Petrino was hitting him with some power, and Turkali would just take it and then you
Shrug it
know,
off.
shook it off. These
Yeah.
didn't I snap you during this and be like, this looks like two amateurs grappling because it was just like back and forth and back and forth and back and forth like on the
And
ground.
but it was bad.
It was, I mean, they were like Turkali, I feel like should have been able to, like, he shouldn't have let Petrino reverse him as many times as he did.
Yeah. I didn't think it was I wasn't I didn't think it was that of an I didn't think it was interesting. I don't know how else to say it. I was trying to be politically correct, to be nice. I found it to be a very boring fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Petrino did enough to win. That was pretty much it.
There's nothing wrong with the
Um,
decision. Getting a
no,
decision.
I
It was
mean
just a
it was kind of like sad watching them roll around like that. And Petrino's takedowns weren't amazing in my opinion, like good crisp takedowns, but
no, nothing spectacular. I mean, go to you made it to the big show, so
yeah.
uh,
Next we had Mario Batista versus Guido Canetti. Mario Batista was like one of the biggest favorites on this card. I had him to win by submission. He won by submission. Um, uh, I give hats off to Canetti though, because Canetti got out. He got taken down and then got out and got up. Kind of got taken right back down again, but dude fought hard. Hats off to Guido. He just couldn't stop Mario from beating him. Uh, so
you can only do so much. You
yeah,
can only do so much. It was quick. I mean,
it was it
submission in the
was a
first
it was
round.
a good fight um for Batista. The Canetti has fought some tough guys. He lost to Cheeto. He
Tough guy.
beat Chris Matinho. I mean, we'll call him tough because he got his face like smashed in from taking so many shots by Sean O'Malley,
Is it the
which we
green
know
hair guy?
What?
The guy with green hair?
Yeah, he had the troll green hair.
Yeah.
He's actually not, and he got cut by the UFC, but he is on the Ultimate Fighter that Conor McGregor and Michael Chandler are going to be part of. So he's
That's
getting a chance to get back into the UFC. I do like Matinho though, because I think he is a tough guy.
he got the toughness.
He's got the toughness. He just needs to work on more parts of his game.
He's
Like
got the ability to keep his composure while being barraged. I mean, that's not a lot of things that people have normally. That's something you're born with. You can learn it, but I mean,
he
go
just
out and get
can't
punched in the face. And
you can't take the little Spartan approach to winning fights.
it doesn't
And
work for most people.
it didn't work for him against Sugar Sean. He took like 300 shots to the
Yeah,
face.
if you can't wear them out with your face, don't use it. Just don't do it. You gotta know that you can wear them out with your face. I'm
Yeah.
like Homer Simpson from the time when he was boxing. That's what I did.
Yeah.
It was a decent
Um,
fight. And the
yeah.
next fight, I was mind boggled on how, and that's who I picked, but not in that way.
Yeah. A lot of people were on Martinez, and I picked Saeed and I knew Saeed was not the grappler of the family. Which I guess he's not even related to Khabib. But he has that last name, but he does not have that grappling like they do. And I was just like, he's on quite the roll, he's like, it was 1, 2, 3, 4. He was 5-1 in the UFC at the time. Everybody was on Martinez. I was like, I'm gonna go with Saeed here. did did not go that way. Elaborate a little bit more on that. Just kind of say what Jonathan's or Martinez's keys to victory were there.
I think his keys were in the judge's eyes the damage done.
Mm-hmm.
Significant strikes, takedowns. I don't think there was even a takedown in the whole fight. But significant strikes were all on Saeed's side. He had more volume, but I mean, I can throw pillows at you all day, and you throw one rock at me, and you win, right? So
Mm-hmm.
big difference. It's not the same. And Martinez he just looked good. He looked very good, and not at he looked better than I expected, if that makes sense. I thought
Yeah.
he would take the win, but I didn't think he would look as good as he was. He was crisp. He was on point. He was ready. He was ready
Mm-hmm.
when he came in, and he showed it. And I was really impressed with his turnout. So I look forward to seeing what he's got next, because he looked good to me. He looked good with obvious room for improvement, but he had the room to improve. And his ceiling is not there yet.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think he's gonna do big things. The next two fights, I mean, not really even worth talking about. Krylov, pretty much.
Krylov, Volkov, they went exactly how
Yeah.
everyone thought they would.
I picked Span though. Span did look decent for a moment, and
I had
then
Span. I wanted Span, to be honest.
yeah.
I had it the same way. So that's the way it
Yeah.
went. That's what you got to deal with.
Yep. On here I picked Volkov. I believe last week. I think I said I switched my pick. Um, I had bet Romanov so early though. I could not undo the bet. I thought the price was good at the time. I got it like minus 115 early. And then Volkov ended up just fucking obliterating. Romanov is not who we thought he was. He came into the UFC undefeated. Um, Ended up taking his first loss to Tybura, and you know turned around in like 5-6 months and got TKO'd by Volkov. I mean, just I Romanov got hit and he just looked fucking scared, like he didn't want to get hit again.
Yeah, it just wasn't. He didn't look like he wanted to be there.
No.
Yeah, it looked like he wanted
Um
out.
Hopefully, something happens and he can like pull it together. I think he's got the grappling, but he did not look good on that. And he's Vandera's decent, you know, like
Yeah, yeah.
he had some decent fights, but just uh, did he fuck it? He came out of Eagles FC, which is Khabib's promotion, and had oh fuck a ton of wins, and then gets the UFC, rattled off some wins, and ran into Tybura. I mean, he beat Chase Sherman, which Chase Sherman's not an amazing fighter. So I hope nothing but the best for Chase Sherman. Hope he can, or not Chase Sherman. I do hope the best for Chase Sherman too, though.
Look at you, just hoping the best for everybody.
I hope the best for Alexander Romanov. I think he's got too much talent to like just be like, fuck this. I hope he kind of maybe he takes some time and learns better stand up.
Well, I think a lot of
Maybe take this year off and get proper training. Like not just rely on your grappling.
yeah.
I say that I did get training in boxing, but what did I do every fight?
Well,
Fucking to the ground as soon as I can.
you're gonna lean on what you know the best. It's just how it works. You're gonna lean on what you know the best. So there's nothing
The
you can
main
do.
event. Sorry. Yeah,
No,
the
yeah. Let's move on to this main event. We still got another fight card to talk about.
yep. The main event. Davashvili versus Peter Yan. Oh man. This was a good Mirab. Man, he looked good. You had this fight picked. You had it pegged right. I will admit my wrong prediction here. Um,
Yeah,
yeah.
I usually do well with the main events, but when we get into like the lower the card, the worse I do usually. So the main event, I'm always right on, but that's the guys that I've been watching for a long time. So it's a
Yeah.
lot easier to figure it out. Peter Jan looked terrible.
Oh yeah.
Jan looks like he's done. Jan looks like he's got nothing left for the sport, and I don't know what else to do. But that's literally how it seems. I mean, he looked like that, like he came off of that weird loss to Sterling, came back and fought, got beat.
O'Malley.
Yeah, got beat by O'Malley, got beat by Sterling in the rematch. Sterling got the championship legitimately instead of the
Mm.
weird way no one liked. But and he got beat by O'Malley, and I'm like, okay, nothing against O'Malley, but like I feel like when you're ranked above 10 and you fight the number 2 guy and you beat him, maybe the number 2 guy's not number 2. Not saying O'Malley doesn't need to be
Yeah.
moved up. Like he got moved up and he should have been moved up.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe number 2 should have been moved back a little further. Right. I mean, I just don't think the rankings were quite correct.
Mm-hmm.
Mirab has freaking looked awesome. We have a
Yeah.
huge problem with him winning. Huge problem with him winning.
He is holding down that spot until Sterling moves to a different weight or loses the championship. Because once he loses the championship, he of course, I feel like Davishvili has to get the title shot after whoever, because I think it should obviously go, if they're gonna do Cejudo versus Sterling. But after that, they jumped O'Malley. So they didn't give him his shot like he deserved. Um Go Cejudo, go O'Malley, and then if Sterling's lost one of those two fights, then it's Davishvili right there. That's where he goes, and he 2 fights and then he gets a title shot. I think he's third in line right now, even though he's ranked number 1, number 2. You know, I feel like,
if Cejudo ever actually fights. I mean, he did get
yeah,
into
I think they
USADA
have
pool.
it. I think that he is in the USADA pool. Remember we talked about that.
Yep, he was on the USADA. He's in the USADA pool. He wanted Mirab to be the backup fighter for him and Sterling, which is hilarious because I could just see Cejudo not even showing up to the fight, and then the backup fighter, which has never ever been used in UFC history, would have to fight, which would be Mirab versus Sterling, and they don't want to fight because they're friends. Here's the problem with that is that if you can't, if you're slightly, not necessarily, but we're missing out. We're missing out on what Davashvili could do with being the champion. Could he go on a run and be a 10 fight, champion? Could he break records? We don't know. We
His
don't know because he's not willing to fight.
his style, it's blitzkrieg and it's nonstop and it's just in your face the whole time. Not only is it in your face the whole time, he's got the gas tank to do it too.
Yeah, he doesn't quit. He's got no quit in him.
It's just like 36 attempts, 36 fucking takedown attempts.
Dude, that's tiring. That's tiring to stop.
That's yeah.
You're doing it. You're doing it. You're the one who's trying to attempt to take down.
Yeah.
That's tiring.
Fighting them off, which I feel like Peter, fuck it, it should have been a fucking split decision with all the fucking takedown defenses Jan had to do. Fuck. But
He did. I mean, that had to where he looked pretty spent towards the end, right? I mean, he looked spent. Mm-hmm. So I really, that upsets me. We'll move on. It upsets me that Mirab he's not going to fight Sterling. I understand they're from the same camp. I understand they're friends. I understand that they know who's the better fighter. Because that's just how it works when you're in a gym. You know which guys can beat you. you know how much you're giving in the gym. I mean, if you're doing 80% in the gym, and you
Mm-hmm.
know that guy's giving, there's guys, I'm sure you've dealt with it too. There's those guys that go 150% every day at practice. They don't care who they hurt. They're giving it their all because they want to win in practice. It's like the
Yeah.
guy who wins in the lobby of a game, right? You go into
Mm-hmm.
Call of Duty and you
Yeah.
get in the lobby and the guy beats you in the lobby because like good for you. Good for you. We're in practice. Stop.
Yeah. Why don't you do what everybody else is doing and do a fucking emote dance or some shit? You know what I'm saying?
Really?
Uh,
Seriously? Yeah, I agree with that.
yeah, but I mean, obviously we both think I mean, I think I said it was a close fight too. Um, I feel like it was gonna be if I just thought Jan had still had that eliteness to him, but it showed that Davashvili is the guy that's the elite one in this situation. I think Peter's still top five, but you know,
Yeah, I don't disagree. I think he needs to go home. He needs to go home. He needs to take a break. He needs to stop looking at what's next, who's next, and just practice.
maybe he needs to focus on his wife.
He might need to. He might need to focus on his wife. I'll need his gloves to be dropped inside the octagon because that's now how you retire. So,
Is
so
that
it,
how?
that's official. Yeah, it's the official. It's in the UFC handbook. It's how you retire. You have to put your gloves down inside. No, I'm just fucking. I have no idea why all of a sudden this has started.
I
You can
am,
always tell
yeah.
when a guy's going to do it because they pull off
It
their gloves and they're like,
I think it's because of wrestling. When you retire from wrestling, like Olympics and stuff like that, you leave your shoes in the middle of the mat. Obviously, UFC you don't have shoes on, so what you leave your gloves in the on the mat. It's like the only thing that I guess you put on. Like in wrestling, you put on your singlet, but you're really gonna leave your singlet out in the middle of the mat? No. Are you gonna leave your shorts in the middle of the mat? Derek Lewis might, but
might leave his cup in the cup.
it might leave his cup. Who knows? Uh, when that man retires, it's gonna be. I love watching him fight, even though most of the time, I know he's gonna lose. But
Blood beast.
um, oh yeah,
I think he's on his way out, but
I love
um,
watching him fight.
I like him. I just think
Yeah,
he's interesting. So yeah, it's a short span for most MMA fighters. You get
uh,
a 5 to 10 year window of when you can fight, and when you're not when you can, but when you're able to make it to the big time.
yeah.
And the really good guys go 10 years, right? I mean,
He's. I want to say he's got to be one of the smarter ones, even though he acts like he's just a fucking goon. Um,
he's
as
a
in he's
smart
just
guy.
like a goofball.
Yeah.
I feel like he's probably smart. He's probably invested in places. He's probably got people that are watching out for him. Because he's made some money in the UFC. He's fought for a title. He's got to have a lot of sponsorships, I'm sure.
Well, I'm sure
So
he'll be able to do something. I mean, when you've got a name like that, you can do something like we're doing here and
yeah,
absolutely get it off the floor and rolling a little bit easier than somebody who no one knows. So
yeah,
I think that he'll be fine. But yeah, we got a couple of years left. I think he's in 36ish or so. So
yeah. Um, nah. Yeah. Let's head to the main card because or the UFC 286 main card. Where we are like blowing through time.
I noticed that I looked at the clock and I was like, holy crap, it's almost been an hour, right? Am I
I don't
close?
even know. I started my timer early and I know it's close to an hour. So
Well,
uh
let's hit let's main point. Let's hit main points on this card. I mean,
yeah.
there's a lot of fighters on the
Yep.
card.
The main card was all we were gonna talk about. Really, there's not a lot of guys on the um on the prelims that people really know about. But the main ones, starting out with we got Jennifer Maya versus Casey O'Neill. We'll kind of start this one. I think the odds have it very close. It's minus 175 for O'Neill as the favorite, and Maya is plus 150. That's the money line. So all they have to do is win the fight. That's all O'Neal has to do. I think this is a changing of the guard fight. Another one like we had earlier. And it's gonna be because O'Neal is basically better than Maya in every aspect. Takedowns, punches landed per minute. So her striking and grappling are already better. Um, I am gonna pick O'Neal to win this one by decision. Maya's only been knocked out once, and I don't think O'Neal's gonna be getting her in a submission. So I'm gonna pick O'Neal to win by decision.
I'm gonna agree with you on this one. Yeah, we're in agreement. I can't go really the other way. I agree with you. Kind of what I was thinking. I'm not sure we agree on the rest of the card going up, but we'll see.
Did you take a look at my did you take a look at my analysis?
I did, and
Or
now I don't
are you
remember it. So
yeah.
how I can't remember. So this
You
is
do
the
your
fun
homework
part to
so
being
well.
old. The fun part of being old, I forget things 5 minutes after it happens. So yay.
Next up we have Vittori versus Delatse. You want to go ahead and give your analysis, then I'll talk a little bit as well.
You know, this is tough. This is tough. Roman is a stud. I think he's kind of an unknown to a lot of people. And Vittori has got a lot of he's got a lot of press lately. Vittori's been doing some things that has put him on the map. I don't think Vittori wins this fight. Now, I think he's more well known. I think he is the more well known fighter. I don't think Vittori wins this fight. I think he's going to be. I don't know what the odds are on this on betting lines, but I'm guessing that Vittori is the favorite.
Yes, Vittori was the favorite. I can't remember what. Well, I actually have my book open right now. I didn't have it, or I opened it up to check my bets earlier. So,
he would be the
Vittori is minus 280, so he's almost a 3-1 favorite. Yeah.
I follow both these guys, and I watch both of them in their training camps. At least what they show us, right? I mean, I'm not like I'm not following them around like a stalker. Maybe I am. Don't tell anyone. I got to go with Roman on this. I really think he's gonna win this fight. I think he's hungrier. I think he's less established and trying to become established. And I see the same thing in every other sport. When fighters become established, when football players get the big contract, when they get to that point, sometimes they settle in. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. But Vittori's coming off of a couple of losses that were to large name fighters. So don't. You guys are very, very good, top of the food chain. I just see a very hungry person on the other side. So I think no matter what, it's going to be a good fight. I'm interested, and I'm not going to be mad either way. I'm just going with Roman.
I was on the opposite side of this. I have Vittori winning it. Mainly because he has his clear path to victory is grappling. He has to wrestle with Delice. Mainly because Delice is so powerful. Delice's last 2 fights have been wins by TKO, and actually 3 knockout of Kyle Dawkins, a knockout of Philip Haas, and then he TKO'd Jack Hermanson. Vittori, he has to wrestle with Delice because he cannot. I feel like he's probably taken too much damage from fighting Izzy, from fighting Bobby Knuckles. Those are 2 losses that he's got, within his last 3 fights. Took Jack Hermanson down or to a decision. Hermanson's he's a good hitter. I feel like he's kind of stood with these guys. He's got to take Delice down. He's got to take him down and control the fight. That's how he wins the fight. Otherwise, he's going to get knocked out. Dawkins, if I remember right, didn't try to wrestle with Delitze unless I want to say, I can't remember the fight exactly, but I want to say he kind of didn't Delitze like kind of like blitz him in that fight, I want to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Dawkins didn't really get a chance to wrestle, but I feel like Vettori is a little different. Vettori has struck with, some of the top guys in the food chain. Um, but Vittori he's going to have to stand up and set up his takedowns. And I think Vittori wins this. I have Vittori. I think I had Vittori. I think I say Vittori wins the fight. But if you're going to bet this fight, you, shit,
Throw
yeah,
me a second round knockout.
I don't think I have a bet for this fight. I don't think I will bet this fight. Maybe if I'm up money on the prelims and stuff, I'll bet this fight. But I really don't want to bet this fight because it could go either way. I do like Vittori better because he can grapple. Delitze has had some trouble with guys that can grapple. Dawkins didn't get a chance to grapple, but Dawkins didn't know how to stand up with him either. So I think Vittori will have a better solution to that than Dawkins did.
Yeah,
So
I agree with her. I think this fight can go either way, really. It's a matter of where it is. So that's what's going to happen, where the fight is.
Yep. I think the next fight's a pretty good toss-up fight too. It's Gunnar Nelson versus Brian Barberena. So
this is an exciting fight.
Oh yeah, I like Gunnar Nelson and I like Brian Barberena too. That beard that Barberena's got pretty gnarly.
Dude, I can't. I'm not even gonna look. I'm not even gonna give you a win who I pick. If it's somebody wants to know who I think's gonna win, don't bet.
Who do you lean toward on this fight? Who do you think? Who do you lean?
Really want to know?
Who? Barberena?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I still 100% believe this can go either way. That's like we're talking like I feel like that might be just because I'm a bigger fan of his. That might just be me fanboying. I don't know. It's a high possibility. I I think this fight is very interesting and could be easily a main card on a fight night. Like absolutely, this fight main card fight night. Because it's not a fight night. Obviously, we're not.
I'd say a co-main. It'd be a co-main, maybe not a main.
I can see this one being. This could be fight of the night. I feel this could be the fight of the night. This is the one that I think is going to be the interesting fight to watch.
Yeah. So just like I said this is a toss-up fight to begin with, and I give a slight edge to Nelson. He has 12 career wins by sub. So I feel like even though Barberena has fought a couple guys that are pretty good at grappling, Lawler and Brown, I think that he's not gonna. I think Gunnar Nelson's gonna know what to do in this fight. It's a good fight. The thing I am worried about with Barberena is he fought an old Matt Brown, like an old Matt Brown.
You mean the Matt Brown that's coming back and fighting again?
Yeah, he beat him. He beat
Matt Brown that still fights.
Yes, the Matt Brown that still fights. The Matt Brown.
Tag him in this afterwards.
The Matt Brown that is 42.
The immortal.
The immortal
Matt Brown. I'm calling the immortal old.
The immortal. Yes, he is. I am gonna say he is old, but he is still doing it, whereas I am not. So there you go.
I am telling you that there is no way I could do it at 42. I can't do it now.
No. But he beat. I feel like it was a split decision. Brian Barberena, they both looked so fucking gassed in that fight. Barberena
Brown was preparing for a guy. Barberina.
Oh, maybe he wasn't. That was Brown's last fight that he has on his and that was last March. So about a year ago.
I think that was probably the go out on your shield fight for him.
He
And
didn't
then
retire though,
and then he
so
chose not to after it didn't go the way he wanted it to go. And I think maybe in his own head he thought, I didn't put in the effort that I should have, right? I didn't put in my
yeah.
effort. I didn't try. I'm not quitting. I'm not done.
Even if he didn't, Barberena didn't finish him.
No, that was a decision.
Yeah, a split decision.
A split decision. So
Split decision.
I think he felt he had more. I think Matt Brown in that fight felt like he had more left in him. I think Barberena learned from that fight. Let's not take chances, because it was his next fight that
he beat Robbie Lawler in the second round by TKO.
Right. That's huge against a guy who's a very, very well-rounded striker. Now, again, an older at the end of their career, definitely on the back nine, probably actually on.
Are you calling Robbie Lawler the ruthless one? Still fighting. Still
No, I'm just
beat
saying
Nick
just
Diaz.
saying he's playing golf on the back nine, probably on hole 18. That's all.
Maybe 17. We'll give him 17. Nah, dude, Robbie Lawler, amazing. Originally an Iowa guy. So but yeah, I just think that he beat two older guys, kind of had a small run and then ran into RDA and got
who's also old.
Yeah, RDA. He's like remember Randy Orton was the legend killer. That's kind of what Barberena was. Yeah, RDA is 38.
Yes. I remember that.
So yeah, he Barberena was the legend killer. But now he's gonna fight Gunnar Nelson, who's 30. Wait, never mind. That's Barberena's 33. Gunnar Nelson's 34, so someone around his age. We'll see how that goes. I think Gunnar Nelson has to take him down. If I'm gonna bet this fight, I'm gonna pick it to go under 2.5 rounds. You don't have to pick who wins, but I think this fight is not gonna go 2.5 rounds. I don't think Barberena will be. I'm concerned about his gas tank, and I think if Gunnar Nelson takes him down, wears him out with wrestling, he ground and pounds him, or maybe he submits him with the knowledge that he has and the 12 career wins by sub. So that's my pick on the Gunnar Nelson Barberena fight.
I'm gonna obviously go the other way. We've already established which way I'm leaning, so I'm gonna go the other way, and I'm gonna say that it's actually a decision win. I think both these guys have great gas tanks. I gotta pick one. I think it's the best fight of the night, to be honest. I'm more interested in this fight than almost any other fight on the card. Even though we got some big names coming up, two really big fights. This fight's interesting, man. These are dogs. These are two dogs going in there that are just gonna try and shred each other, and I love it.
Yeah. Yo, we got to wrap this up relatively soon. Fiziev versus Gaethje. I think this is a good fight, but I think it favors Fiziev more than Gaethje. Fiziev is a fucking tank. Have you seen his fucking kickboxing fucking highlights? Mm-hmm. That dude fucking punches through people, fucking knocks them out cold.
He's fighting a guy who doesn't get knocked out almost ever.
Doesn't get knocked out, but he likes to fucking get in there and get after it, though.
It's a very interesting matchup as well.
I just think that it's like, I think Gaethje gets in there and I think he fucks around and finds out.
I'm gonna go the other way. I think it's a great fight, and I think either guy can get caught. Either one of these dudes gonna get caught. Somebody's getting caught. We're not gonna see the end of this fight. I don't see how this can go to the end because both of them, and we very high level striker in Rafael, um, very high level wrestling with Justin Gaethje, but the fact that Gaethje can take the punishment and give it back, and so can Rafael. I think this is going to be interesting. I want to go with Gaethje because he's got more experience. He's been up at the top longer. He does have a hungry fighter coming after him, and I'm not going to be mad either way. But I'm going to go with the guy who's got the experience and the guy who literally is training next to the former most dominant welterweight champion of all time.
I don't think Fiziev's a fucking tank, and I think he's going to bring it to the table. I think I have Fiziev by knockout. Gaethje's been knocked out twice, and he's been submitted twice. I think this is the fight where it brings Fiziev up in the rankings. Good fight though. I mean, it's going to be a barn burner. I understand where you're coming from as well, but I just think, in my opinion, Fiziev, I think he gives them. They're gonna get in. They're gonna fill each other out. There's gonna be some good exchanges in the first round. That second round, they're gonna come out and they're gonna have a couple, back and forth, and then like just Fiziev just hits him with one that just fucking shuts the lights out like he hasn't paid the electric bill.
I can absolutely see where you're wrong. It was at that point when you started talking. Honestly, this fight can go either way, man. I can't. I'm just gonna go the opposite of what you're saying, because I think that we have two fighters right here that could win either way, and we're gonna find out. Maybe we see one get exposed, and that they're not as good as we think that they are, or one's declining, or one's not as good as they think they are. Right? But main event.
The one loss that Fiziev has is he lost a TKO to a TKO spinning back kick. That was Magomed Mustafaev. And it looks like he only had 2 fights in the UFC. He is no longer. I don't think he must be done fighting. Because he fought and beat Fiziev, then he lost to Riddell, and he has not fought since. So, yeah.
I think it could be a main event fight, easy enough. It's another interesting fight. I think both of those fights are interesting. The Nelson Barberina and the Gaethje and Rafael fight. I think both of these are very good fights. They're going to be barn burners, and then we're going to be left with this fight at the end that, honestly, I don't know what's going to happen with this fight.
I think this is going to be the chess match that's going to be like, all right, nobody's trying to finish each other here. Nobody's trying to get caught. Nobody's,
That's what I'm thinking with Usman, right? I think he's going to have. I mean, dude, you got laid out. You became a meme. That's gotta either do. I get motivation, right? It would motivate you if you got turned into a meme after you got knocked on your ass, right? It motivate you, but at the same time, does it worry you that you're going to become one again? Like, are you gonna worry about going through all of that again? I think Usman's the more well-rounded, fighter, but Leon has that one punch, one kick, one, and he's like Deadeye, right? He's right on the money with these. So I don't know. I'm gonna go with Edwards because I know where you're going. So I know I'm going with Edwards because I think he comes out and I think he does everything different than he did in the last fight. I think he learns everything from that fight. Watch it over and over and over again. Edwards got dominated. There's no question. Edwards was getting beat that fight. It was Usman's fight to win. He had it wrapped up, but I think Usman has nothing to learn from that fight other than the one kick that caught him. There's not much else to learn, right?
Yeah.
So Edwards changes his whole game up and does something completely different, right? He learns a little better. He looks huge. He is jacked.
So he's on steroids now.
He has to be because on steroids, and he has nipples, and that's what it is, man. You got
You
nipples
got
and steroids.
nipples equal steroids. All
Yeah,
right.
it's how it works. That's what Chael
That's
Sonnen.
a
Look at their
t-shirt.
nipples. Look at
That's
their
a
nipples.
that's a t-shirt. That's future locked cage MMA. It'll be the if you have nipples, you're on steroids with a that's all it's gonna say in the front, and then on the back will be the QR code, right?
It just be nipples equals steroids.
All right.
Equals nipples equals
What
steroids.
what was it before the podcast that we started that was gonna be eat dirt.
Eat dirt.
Hashtag eat dirt.
See, one of these is gonna stick. So let us know which one sounds awesome. We're gonna have to make some shirts at some point. So I think we just make a shirt that just says "Don't try." Locked Cage MMA. Don't try. How you win? You don't try.
Yeah, stop trying. That's gonna be my Usman's key to victory here. I have Usman winning. Key to victory: don't try. Just don't even try. Go into relax mode. Act like you've already got the fight won. The other guy's gonna fuck around. He'll find out.
I think Usman's is more well rounded, and he did fuck around and find out last time by not finishing the fight.
Yeah. I think. So I think. I said I have Usman winning this, or Usman was winning this fight until the very end. While it does make sense for bettors to back and Edwards, who will be less hesitant, I think he's going to be less hesitant as he was before. I think Usman will be the one who wins a closer fight. I think this is going to be a fight that's going to be a lot closer than the first one. But then I said at the same time, I feel like Leon might catch him earlier this time. He might catch him and knock him out earlier in this fight. This is a fight that I really am up in the air about. I'm going to pick Usman because I think he is the smarter fighter, has been fighting at the championship level longer. I think his fight IQ is good despite the last one where he just didn't finish him. And maybe in his head, he didn't want to go balls out in the 5th round and get caught, but he was too lax in the 5th round and got caught. So maybe it's going to be, hey, look at what we did right. Let's fix the things that we didn't. And that's fucking when we throw, we don't expose, because when he threw that punch, it exposed his fucking head.
He left himself wide open. And I think Usman's going to learn from that. But like I said, that he's got one thing to work on. That's the one thing. I'm not saying it's the very only thing. Yeah. Obviously, Leon did much more in that fight, but it's the one thing that obviously he did better than Usman did, which won him the fight. And he can do it again. I mean, a shin to the face is not fun, but man, this is a hard one to call. And I'm going with Leon because I think he's got less worries. What happens if Leon Edwards loses this fight? Nothing. Doesn't hurt him in any way. He's got nothing but a belt to lose, which he already owns. He's already the UFC champion. He'll always be the former UFC champion when he decides to step down or loses, whatever happened, right? Mm-hmm. You can't be a champion anymore unless you're defending it, but he's got nothing to lose. And Usman had everything to lose.
Legacy.
He had everything. He had that huge win record. And so I think this is going to be more of a dogfight this time. Because I think Leon wants to hang on to the belt. I think he wants it. So I think he wants it. And I think Usman wants to come back and show Leon that, hey, he got one over on me that time. That's it. I'm going back to my winning ways. So we could see it come back, or maybe Usman just is done, man. A knockout like that can really mess your head up.
I think I'm going to put that in. If it allows me to on Caesars, I think I'm going to put a parlay of Usman and Adesanya to win. and get their belts back. I wonder what the parlay prop is on that, but I don't even know if it's available to be a prop. But anyways, yeah, definitely a good fight. And so yeah, I feel like it's gonna be a great fight. It's gonna be a good card. It's gonna definitely gonna be a good main card. So
100% agreed. Let's wrap
should
this bad boy up.
we lock this bitch up, lock the cage?
Lock the cage and tell everybody to go home and go to bed because we are.
Yeah. We got up next week will be the let me see. It will be Vera versus Sandhagen. That will be a great main event for a fight night. And then after that, there is no UFC, but we will bring you a show with some sort of topic. You know how we like to get off topic here. It'll be a whole show of off topic. It'll be a great show. And looking ahead on this card, it looks like it's pretty good too. They got a few girl fights. Obviously, Cheeto and Sandhagen's gonna be a good fight. Holly Holm's gonna be on this card. Macy Barber's gonna be on this card. Alex Perez,
That's huge.
Chidi Nuchukwundi. I can't remember. I've
This is
seen him.
Very interesting. Very interesting. I'm looking forward to bullshitting about this card.
Exactly. I think it's gonna be a good fight. You're probably gonna. I'm just gonna tell you right now. I'm picking Vera. I don't know where you're going. You're probably gonna pick opposite of me and say Sandhagen because that's what you do. Okay. Everybody, we know the bet.
Can't. It's Vera. I'm gonna go right. Let me do the top three right now for you, real quick. Here we go. Vera, Kunsakaya, and Andrea Kaylee.
Nice.
Those are that's who's gonna boom done. Next episode, I'm not gonna be here, guys.
All right. 2 weeks from now, we won't be doing a show. All right. Well, it was fun having a good conversation with you here, little Spartan. We're gonna head out here.
Yeah, absolutely. Make sure you guys go check out our Facebook, our Twitter. Make sure you send some likes and all those wonderful things that people tell me are interesting and needed. I'm gonna keep doing it either way. So
again, that's our Twitter at Locked Cage MMA. Facebook is what?
Well, it's the same. I think they can figure it out.
All right.
I'm hoping they're smart enough.
If
they're not, that's okay too. Keep watching.
Play our fucking outro music. Damn it, Dave.
Yeah, do it.